I am here with my partner in crime, my shamanic wife, my sister of another mister, the potent channel teacher guide that I woke up with, really. Like, we had our shamanic intuitive surprise awakening in the year 2000, right around the same time. And we we were actually, this is Alora Cheek. Hi. And
Hello.
we were in an improv group together, and we kind of fell into each other's arms one night, crying and sharing, like, "Oh my God, I've been having the weirdest dreams, and now I'm talking to spirit guides, and this is so messed up." And I'm like, "Yeah, I thought I was a Catholic lawyer," and she was like, "Yeah, I thought I was this agnostic um, internet executive, and now we're like talking to spirits." And she's like, "I had a dream about wolves," and I'm like, "Oh my God, I had a dream about coyotes." And it was like right from the start, we were what I would call shamanic partners, a shamanic pair. And since then, we've taught and led and mentored hundreds of women through our combined center that we opened together, the San Diego Circle Shamanic Healing Arts Center. It's a mouthful, I know, but that was a long time ago. It was 20 years ago. And then we've gone our own ways and raised our kids, and then we've come back together, and now we're holding space together in the Wisdom Collective. And we're teaching drum journey together. So I invited Alora on today to tell so that we could tell some stories because they're
Stories.
funny. And so that we could talk, give people a little bit of a frame of how drum journey was a tool for us, but even more so just this process of spontaneous awakening as a professional person who wasn't super woo until the woo landed on our heads. So hi,
Yeah.
Alora.
Hello. Oh, oh yeah, talking to you, amazing. And of course, talking about spiritual stuff, my favorite. My
Yeah,
favorite. Yeah,
yeah,
the drum journey, I will say, because when we first had our awakening, which was I think almost 25 years ago, I can't
it
believe it.
was. I
Yeah,
know,
right?
trippy.
The that the drum was such a key thing for me because I had had this big psychic awakening, which is a whole other story. And I just told somebody recently, much of my work has been learning how to shut off some of this, or direct or shut off some of the psychic doorways so that I can just sort of focus on regular life. And the drum was a key to that because the drum beat, how to regulate. Looking now that there's more internet, right? We didn't really have the internet back then. You learn about left, right, brain balancing, and of course the science backs up what the folks have known for thousands of years. The drum really helped me stabilize my brain focus so that I was able to not only dip into these intuitive states, but actually work with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember the times when I was really kind of awakening, it seemed scary and chaotic sometimes because I'm having like spirit guides pop in my awareness and show up at the foot of the bed and wake me up and like kind of freak me out or touch my ear and freak me out or put a ring in my ear, like all these signs that were, now I recognize, was just my like spirit trying to make contact and find a shared lexicon so that we could talk to each other.
Yeah.
And fortunately, when you have drum journey practice, you have an anchor, you have this place, like you say, it's sort of a respite, really. Like you can kind of go, "Okay, y'all, stop tugging on my ears, quit freaking me out in the middle of the night. I will go into journey once a day or once every couple days or whatever. When the drum beat is on, that's when my brain is trained to drop into that visionary state." Ugh. And then you don't have to have them banging down your doors the rest of your day. You can actually have a life.
Yeah, for sure. Then the other thing too was that I got to practice, like agreed, I got to practice asking what my intent was. And I think
Mm,
that's such an important part because when you're wanting to have relationship with your spirit guides, you're wanting to have this relationship, you sort of walk around and you're just thinking as you're walking, but which means you have like this diffused and distributed intent. And so
right.
then you're maybe getting answers to things that you're thinking about, but you can't match up which thought brought that answer. So now you're filled with input that are answers, but you don't know what questions they go to. So the shamanic journey also is like, okay, what is your intent? And then here's the response to that question or those intents. And then you're able to like match up the questions and answers. And I was like, well, this is helpful. This is super organized and super helpful. Yeah.
And you guys have to understand that Alora was an internet, like she was a project manager, a techie, creative tech company project manager. So she's really all about systems, making sense of things, letting it be efficient, letting it be easeful. And she's an expert in manifestation and how intention turns into awesome realities. So, excuse me. Oh my God. Shamanic journey is not just a woo-woo escape thing. Shamanic
No.
journey is like an efficiency tool, basically,
Yeah.
for us intuitives. It's an efficiency tool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the cool thing about it is that it not only helps you organize information, it helps you organize energy. Because I mean, information is energy, but as the drum is going and as you're in this experience, whether you're visual or not, some people are like, well, I don't see things. Doesn't matter. Whether you're more a feeler, a thinker, whether you're more physically oriented or you're more abstract oriented, doesn't matter. You will, if you keep practicing it, you will be able to figure out how you receive, but then you're also getting bathed in energy because you're in this state where you're focused. And in this focused state where it's like this, you've chosen to be in a body mind energy experience. And so you're not just receiving these thoughts, you're receiving the energy that goes with it. So it not only helps you pair up the questions and answers, it helps you pair up what you're experiencing in your mind and what you're experiencing in your body and what you're experiencing in your energy. And so now you begin to be more holistic in how you're just moving through life. I'm a huge fan of it.
I can
Can't
tell.
tell.
Yeah, and I love how you're putting words to it. I've never even thought of that before. That it really aligns your body, mind, and spirit in the same experience.
Yes.
Because you're not distracted, you're focused. And because the drum, I mean, the drum has been scientifically proven at that rate to drop us into a deeper brainwave state. So it's actually science. Like it's the science of the entrainment of like the cranial rhythms. That's just what cranial rhythms do. They will entrain to the rhythm they're given. And so as we get better at it, in other words, as we practice it, we're dropping into that state. And then someone might say, well, great, I'll just listen to a drum, I'll just listen to a drum at that rate and that'll be handled. And we learned through various ways and means, mostly the hard way, that
Life experience.
that's not it. I mean, that's part of it. You could just listen to a drum beat, boom, 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 and you would relax. Your brain would relax. But what we did learn, and like you do with a lot of intuitive tools, is to respect the process and to meet it with the right protocol so that you can touch power, so that you've got the right energies assisting you, so that you're not calling in stuff that you really wish you had not called in, so that you are organizing your mind in alignment so you can really leverage and make use of this brainwave state, which is really what it is. It's so funny. I've got so many friends who use medicine journey. They go on ayahuasca trips or sit with various things. And I think that's great. Like that's a whole nother thing. But you gotta you gotta fast for a week. You gotta show up in a certain way. You gotta sit all night. You gotta puke in a bucket. You gotta, you're talking to like a certain set of guides who belong with that medicine. If you're lucky, the ceremony is held really well by a container held by truly pure-hearted, experienced facilitators. And it's like, it's a complicated endeavor to get to a very similar state to what you get to when you just lay down and do a drum journey for half an hour. So,
Right, right. But
uh,
but but also like when you learn how to do a drum journey, you're not just sitting there receiving something, you're actually learning how to actively participate in it. Because the other
yes.
thing too, it's like I just went into journey and I've got all this stuff, these information messages. What do I do with it? It's like if you go out,
Mm,
I remember the first time I was like, oh, that's a whole pomegranate. I don't even know how to open it. Like, what is this? Do you eat the outside? Do you eat, if you've never, yeah, y'all can Google what opening a pomegranate. It's a thing, right? And so
totally.
it's almost like this. You come back, you've gone into this beautiful new land and you've harvested all this fruit that you've never seen before. And then you put it
Right.
back in your kitchen counter and you look at it and you go, that's great. What's for dinner? Because I don't
Right.
even know how to open this. So part of the part of
Yes.
learning about how to be a participant in the shamanic journey is now that I've got all this stuff, what do I do with it? What do I do with this information?
Right.
What do I do with this symbolism? How does this actually work in my life? How does this feed me? And so that's a part of it too. So it's like end to end. It's just it's a fantastic skill set, honestly.
Well, and then you take it a step farther, which we're going to be doing in this training and offering training in how to use this with clients because we've
Yeah.
got a lot of gifted healers and seers and wise ones who are already serving clients. And drum journey, like when you know how to consciously collaborate with it, as you say, and to be specific with the intention and how to set a container that's, that can work with a client so that you are holding their intentions, working with their guides, getting the messages for them, receiving healing support for them. It's another layer of conscious creation inside of drum journey. And so that's why, we like to teach first, like, okay, here's how to use drum journey for yourself to vision your own life, to send energy to your kids, to your home, to your, to in a gentle, non pokey way. And then, oh, somebody's asked you to journey for them.
Yeah.
Okay, here's how you drop in with that intention. Here's how you work with their guides. Here's how you set up that relationship so you're not creating any weird ass karma or resentment or, breaching confidentiality. Here's how you set that container and hold it.
Yeah.
Which honestly has been, I it's it's kind of the secret to my success. I would not be here where I'm at now, getting paid lots of money to take care of leaders, to keep them clear, to keep them focused. And I know you do similar work. Like we do very similar work. And what are we really using? Oh, journey. Like all day, every day, I'm slipping in and out of journey state. And it's gotten now after, after quite a while, I guess probably after about 10 years of using the drum journey, I started just being the drum. And now I can just kind of tap in without the drum because I'm so attuned to that state. And we just kind of go back and forth, from
You,
waking state to journey state to waking state to journey state. It just becomes kind of part of you.
that is such a good point. There's something I always say, which sometimes you have to go slow to go fast. Like you have to break things down. And so when you learn a drum journey, you're learning like when does your mind shift from like I'm looking around at the outside window to like I'm looking at an inside window.
Right.
Like when does that shift happen? And then if you get really practice of that, that's how people are talking to me and they're like, "Oh, I can tell you just slipped into like intuitive mode." I'm like, "Yeah,
Right.
I know it." And you know what? I know it too. And I think that's really important because
Uh-huh.
if you're
Yeah.
slipping in and out of it and you don't know it, you might be like, "I don't, my life is confusing." So
Uh-huh.
you got to know your own gears. You got to learn
Yeah.
how to adjust your own automatic vehicle. And the thing you said about clients is so great because when you learn how to work with this with clients, then you really begin to see, what are the things that I am getting for myself so that I can
Hmm.
go into this journey for them? And then what's the information for them? So you can sort that. I
Yes.
wow. So
Ah, finally,
it's
this shit makes
yes,
sense.
yes. You feel
Ay, ay,
clear, they
ay.
feel clear,
Yeah.
right? Done. And
Yeah.
it's highest good stuff.
It's so sense making. It's so sense making. That's why I call it my primary tool. When I, yeah, I got psychic pretty suddenly with Clarice's birth, around the time of Clarice's birth. And previous to that, I didn't really believe in any of this stuff. So to go suddenly from like Catholic, oh, I can gently hear the voice of God speaking back when I pray in church, to, oh, I've got ancient medicine women knocking on my window at night. Like, oh, I've got dead people, walking up to me going, hey, like, what? This stuff never existed. To then have a practice where I could go, okay, y'all, I'm having a life. I'll talk to you over here. Here's what Drum Journey is for. Now, in Drum Journey, I can organize those guides.
Yes.
Yeah, you dead people, check it out. Y'all can stay in this room over here. My guides will take care of you, because I don't want to talk to dead people all the time. You don't have that much to say. You angelic beings that are creating new reality, you're with me. But don't freak me out. Stay over here. So it's just, and then I know you have this experience too, but I just did a journey clearing for someone yesterday as part of a VIP day session. And, I'm in journey for less than an hour, right? And I come out and I type this report of everything that I just experienced. And I send it off to her, and I haven't even talked to her yet. And she's looking at the report and she's like, how did you know? How did you know? Like, there were so many things in that little journey that came through for her that were like, there was like a horse. She had just connected with a horse for the very first time. There was an owl. She was just visited by an owl. And there were other things that were extremely personal that, like, how would I have possibly known? There were so many affirmations for her. And I could see things that were happening in her body that she hadn't even told anyone about. And that's the power of this journey practice. You can get so much specific information that is validating and helpful and directive and informative. And it lands with people. What really blows me away is the images I get for a client in journey are their images, not mine.
Yeah, for sure. We are all,
Blows me away.
yeah, we're all connected in a beautiful way. The universe, the whole bit, the quantum field, whatever you want to call it, and there's so many words for it over the millennia. But when you really embrace this work and you let yourself be in a highest good collaborative state with this, like you, I still get blown away by people saying, what? What? And then I'm like,
Seriously?
to be reminded, right, that
So
we're
nice.
super all cared for, like it's all love, it's all help, it's all beautiful knowledge that we can share. And to be able to access that and help people with that, and even just the reminder that I don't have to say it out loud, but my pain, my hurts, my needs, my hopes, my dreams are out there for my guides to help me with. And even if I don't even know what I'm asking for, they know.
Yeah.
And as I'm led to the right practitioner, that practitioner can even help me know things that I didn't know about me. And
Right.
it's this incredible,
It's super amazing how the translations
Yeah.
come through someone else, and it's so validating. And like, I'm just thinking of the tune-ups that we give people. You and I give these mini versions of these journeys to the people in the business mentorship, in the wisdom mastermind. Like, every single month they get one of these little mini journeys, and it's extraordinary to read their responses. Like, they were like,
Right.
oh, and how
How did you
fast it
know?
affects
Yeah.
change. Like, it really changes them. It really, like, every time I do a journey for someone, I'm like, holy crap, it worked again. The lawyer inside of me is still totally amazed that it works, and that it's permanent, and that it's immediate. And the woo-woo part of me is like, of course it is, because we're all one field of love, but the lawyer in me is like, what the hell? Is this still working? It's been working for 25 years. It's like, it makes it easy to charge good money for it, because that they're going to get full value. And people pay me now $2,000 a session to get a full journey. people, you and Amanda, everybody's charging like $1,000 more for a journey because of the level of effect it has. Not because we're, you know, squirreling money out of people. It's because the effect it has. It's like, that's what it's worth, and some people charge less. That's great too. But like the effect that it has is so profound that I know it's been quite an upgrade for many of us. The idea that we're charging by the hour is easily thrown out the window when so much happens inside of a journey that can heal things that we didn't even know were healable, that we could give clarity to things that we didn't know could be given clarity.
What's that example? Like the plumber comes in and does one thing and charges you $300 and you're like, "What is this?" Well, it was $5 for the part and it's $295 for me to know what was wrong with you and which
Right.
like your plumbing and which part you needed. Like the years you talk about like the decades. Like when you said 20, I was like, "Has it been 20?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, no, it's almost 20,
25.
almost 25 years." And like people who play an instrument and like get to like to the point where they're playing on stages around the world. Like I have given the spiritual psychic training for myself that level of practice, those hours. I put in my, we've put in our
That's right.
10,000 hours.
That's right.
So you don't need 10,000 hours to be able to do an effective journey, but if you really, really like it and it's something that really speaks to you and being able to know what's going on with you, when your client asks you for highest good, all of these things, like the the being able to organize what you do into the journey is saying, here's the instrument that you can learn how to play versus just make music. Like with
Mm,
what? How? What are you
right.
talking about? What do you mean? Like here's the flute, here's the violin, here's the piano, here's the guitar, here's the journey. Here's the music of the journey and you can learn how to play this and really bring that light into the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alora.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're interested in what we're talking about, check it out. Check out the drum journey training that we've created because this is really a tool that every single intuitively gifted person, maybe every person, honestly, should have in their tool belt because it really makes it simple, easy, direct access with a lot of efficiency and value. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks for
and I
being here.
I'm gonna have so much fun.
So much fun. So
I'm
much
gonna have so
fun.
much fun helping
Me
people
too.
do this.
Agreed. All right, love. Thank you.